In this video, I'm going to show you a typical week in my life, the kind of training I've been doing on the bike, some of the go-to meals that I like to eat, just how I structure and plan out my week to fit everything in and make it work around family, work commitments and everything like that. So, enjoy.
Is he ticklish in here? Is he ticklish here? Is he ticklish here? Is he ticklish there? Was he ticklish here? Is he ticklish there?
Beautiful morning to start a week of training here, just a nice still morning. If I could train any time I wanted to, I'd still train early because it's just a perfect way to start the day. I did an hour and 3/4, super easy. I was aiming for 2. I mucked around this morning, so that's what I got. And I basically gauge my easy effort by just keeping it conversational. I wear a heart rate monitor, but I don't like to look at the screen all the time. Usually it's about 130, 135 average for an easy ride. But what I do, which will sound ridiculous, and I don't do it all the time, just at different parts of the ride, I'll practice what I want to say in these videos. And it does a real good job of keeping my effort in check, and it saves me a lot of time because when I go to do this, I've basically half worked out how to get my thoughts out into words, so it works well. I did run into local rider Nick towards the end of my ride, who was much stronger than me, and so I rode a little bit harder at his easy pace to finish there, but it's all good. It was good to have a chat, and yeah, I'm going to go about the rest of my day. I eat the same thing for breakfast every single morning, which is oats, and this is what I put in them. I've been eating this for so long now, and I don't get sick of it. So I go half a cup of oats into a saucepan. This saucepan is way too big, by the way. You can use one a lot smaller. I'll cover the oats with coconut milk, and then I'll put that on a medium heat. And then I'll basically just leave it until the oats soften up and absorb most of the milk. And then in a bowl, I'll put some raspberries and some blueberries. That's my favorite combo right now, but you can use whatever you like. I'll put that in the microwave for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. I think I go 2 here. Just let that do its thing, and then smack it all in a bowl. You're done. It's so easy to make. A bit of Koyo coconut yogurt, that's vanilla, and got to hit it with some peanut butter, Mavers, of course, a little bit of maple syrup to finish it off, and I mean, come on, man. I don't tire of it. It's so good. One of the many amazing things about my wife is she makes incredible sourdough bread. She's been doing this for a couple of years now, and it's amazing, honestly. She makes us all kinds of delicious sourdough things. Loaves, flatbreads, bagels, muffins, cookies, you name it. We are pretty spoilt around here. She definitely looks after us. Frances loves these bagels. She likes to call them burgers. And Gemma had made these a few days prior to this. They were so good. I requested some more, and I was really hanging out for them for lunch. So I'm having a good hit of avocado on mine. Hit it with a healthy pinch of salt, a little bit of olive oil. Just keep it simple. Pretty bloody delicious. After lunch, I had this ridiculously delicious peanut butter crunch bar. These are really good. I don't get them that often, but I was at the shops getting avocado for lunch, so I grabbed one, and yeah, I like to have a little something after lunch, bit of a treat. Most meals, actually, to be honest. I don't like to think I've got a sweet tooth. Gemma is always telling me that I do. It's more so, if there's a block of chocolate lying around, I'm going to eat it, you know. But I can go without it, like, I don't know. Anyway, I also made a cup of tea in my Yeti cup to take back to work. This has become a bit of a routine for me. I'm not a big tea guy, but I don't mind this particular lemon and ginger tea, so I take that back with me and just sip on it throughout the afternoon. And as far as coffees go, I have one in the morning before I train, and then I usually grab a takeaway on the way to work. So 2 is my cap for coffee. So somehow it's Friday again. I don't know how these weeks go by so quick, man, but I thought I'd quickly recap this week's training and sort of explain how I've been structuring my weeks. So I structure the week similar to how I would with running, or how Scotty would do it for me. So 2 rest days a week. At the moment it's Monday, Friday. Monday, complete rest, do nothing. Friday is optional active recovery, so like a 30-minute ride, super easy just to get the body moving. Chose not to do that today, I just felt like I needed the rest. Wednesday is some kind of effort, whether it's tempo, intervals, whatever. I'm still learning about cycling specific stuff, but this week I did 10, 40, 20s. Short, intense efforts. The effort's longer than the recovery, so the more you do, the harder it gets. I find that one pretty fun. And then the rest of the week is just made up of easy riding. So with the time constraints that I've got, I can't really do too much, so I just squeeze as much as I possibly can in, and that's basically it. You know, I'm just training to train, but I like the structure. It keeps me motivated rather than just going out and doing whatever. And yeah, it sounds simple on paper, but yeah, there's always something, man. I think it was Wednesday night, we just got bugger all sleep. George is teething at the moment. He's getting top and bottom teeth at the same time, so he's super grumpy. And yeah, that's just how it goes. We'll move into the weekend and keep getting it done. So I just got in from my Saturday ride. The weekends, pretty much, you know, like the weekdays, just trying to squeeze in as much as possible. So I did 2 hours and 15 minutes this morning. It's usually around 2 to 3 hours. It's forecast to be 40 degrees today, so I got out at 5:30 and got as much done as what I could. And then Sunday, I'm going to do a race. I did my first one last weekend. The local cycling club does like a summer series of races here. They're all about 30 k's long, and it's pretty chill, like it's handicapped system, so anyone can do them. But yeah, putting that in the middle of, you know, 2.5, 3 hours, it's a good slog. Like last week was pretty decent effort for me, and I was pretty much on the rivet at the end, so that's the plan. Okay, playground it is. It is an absolute stinker, man. It is so hot. I took the kids out to the playground just so they could get out and do something before it was too hot. And I'm heading down now to get curry paste and a few things because I'm on cooking duty tonight. And I've got to suss out what to have for lunch too. I wanted to quickly mention how cool it was to hear from so many of you guys when I uploaded that last video. You don't realise how long it's been. It's probably 10 years I think I've been making videos on here, and you know, hearing from people that have found this channel at all different points over that time and where they were at then, what they've achieved since, and where they are at now was just really cool. It was honestly quite overwhelming. It made me feel a little bit emotional because, like, in my head, man, these videos are just like silly things that I make and put on the internet, but you know, I can see after all this time how they've managed to somehow inspire people and help them, touch them, you know, it's real cool. Like, to be able to help people is a really nice feeling. And I mean, honestly, this channel is probably like, it's one of the best things I've achieved in my life. So it was pretty sick to hear from everyone. So I ended up having one of these burgers here for lunch. I've never tried these. Veggie burgers like this I find a hit and miss, man, but this one was good. I liked it. I got some potato on the side, avocado. This stuff here is peace, love and vegetables, French onion, cashew cheese. The stuff is wild. I eat way too much of it. And I always find cooking a veggie burger like that, you're better off doing it in the oven rather than a pan. It always turns out better. I got straight back in the kitchen and started prepping my curry. I got this Church Farm Indian curry paste, which is a really good one if you ever come across that. And here's the rest of my ingredients here. Keeping it pretty simple. Curry is one of those things that I just love to make because I've made so much of it over the years. I don't have to think about it, and I can usually knock out a pretty decent one. You know, it's kind of second nature. I don't have to worry about following a recipe or anything. And a good curry, some rice, I mean, you can't go wrong. It's pretty dang good, and it's just one of those meals again that I just don't tire of. I can just eat this over and over, never get sick of it. We actually had mum and dad come over for dinner this night, which was nice. We try and do that once a week. We go to their house or they come to ours. Here's my dad with George. George's middle name is actually named after my dad, which was a pretty cool moment for me. So I'm about to roll out and ride out to the race. Got a couple of gels just in case. Forecast was for a lot of wind, which was going to be crosswind. But right now it's sweet, so hopefully this holds. My legs don't feel great, I'm not going to lie. But oh well, we'll go see how we go. I'm going to ride about an hour on the way out there. Here's a quick clip from Gemma's phone of the finish. The audio was fried here. It was so windy by this point. I was also fried, pretty buggered after that. And cool photo here from the Facebook group. Wasn't sure who took these. It just says photos by Baz, so photo credit to Baz. And this is what it's all for, man. Espresso on the way home. Rightio, I'll do a quick recap of the race here. What's somewhat fresh in my memory. So 30k course, out and back, the wind, shocking, crosshead wind, just felt like we just copped it the whole way. Even after we turned around, it kind of switched a bit, I think. But yeah, we had a group of 4. There was a group started quite a ways ahead of ours, our group, and then a 3-minute gap back to the scratch group. Going out was sweet. One thing I've enjoyed about the bike racing is just how you have to work together. Like, I find that kind of cool. It's completely different to running, so it's something different for me. But we hit the turnaround, saw the scratch group, and they weren't very far back from us, so I could tell they were going to catch us. So I was kind of waiting for that to happen, and I was going to see if I could hang on to them to the finish. I managed to do that, along with a couple of others from our group. Probably like 800 metres to go, the pace went up at the front, and the guy's wheel who I was on, he fell off a bit. And by the time I realised I couldn't, like, it was too late to do anything. I felt like I had good legs, so I probably could have hung with the guys at the front. Or probably not, to be honest, but I would have tried. So yeah, from there I just rode it in to the finish as hard as I could, and that was basically it. Yeah, it was fun. Everyone from the club's been super welcoming and gave me advice and stuff because I've got no idea what I'm doing. So that's been cool. Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with racing bikes, but I've got a lot of experience knowing what a certain effort feels like and how long I can sustain it for. I feel like that was always my strength with running, was my pacing, so I feel like that's transferred over pretty well. And yeah, I did a lot better this week than last week, just knowing a bit more what to expect and everything. So it is a pretty intense effort, man, though, I will say that. It's like a decent tempo effort building into like a hard threshold effort at the end. So I'm kind of wary of that if I want to keep doing them. Like right now I've got a 4-week trial on my Cycling Australia license or whatever, but if I do keep doing them, I'll probably drop like that workout in the middle of the week, because intensity like that's a real good way to get fit fast, but you can do yourself in doing that much. Like you burn yourself out pretty quick too, so you got to be kind of weary of it. So yeah, that's about it. So I think that's been a good look at a pretty typical week for me right now. I'll put up my numbers for training on the screen so you can see that. I landed just under 9 hours from memory, so pretty decent. And obviously this is all kind of fresh for me. Like I've kind of developed this routine over the past, I think, 7 weeks since I got back on the bike. And is it going to be sustainable for us, like as a family? I think that's the most important thing longer term. I think it will be. It feels manageable. You just have to take into account that there'll be weeks where I get stuff all training in. And, when you've got a young family, that's just how it goes. Things come up. You have to be flexible. And when those things come up, the last thing you care about anyway is training. So overall, it's working pretty good. I think one thing that could help a ton at some point is getting an indoor trainer and trying something like Zwift. Just like when you're trying to juggle it all and make it work, pretty useful tool to have, man. And before you know it, it's going to be winter here. The days are quite short. It's wet, cold, just harder to get out. So I'm going to work towards that. I haven't really got the cash to throw at it right now, but definitely something I want to look at doing. So yeah, I'm going to head off. I want to quickly thank everyone who supported me on the Buy Me a Coffee page last week. It's greatly appreciated. Goes a long way. The link for it is in the description if you want to support the channel. That's probably the best way to do it. So I've got some more videos planned that I want to make, so those are coming, and I'll see you guys then.